Well, hello. So, there's been a lot of discussion and debate on the power of Trickster, especially this node up here. Harness the Void. Your hits have a chance to gain 50%, 100%, or up to 200% of non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage. And this is insane. So, a lot of people think that it will work as you're hitting an enemy, and then you have a chance to gain extra damage as chaos of that that final hit that you're about to deal to an enemy. So let's say you do. Let's say we have a nice example here. So let's say that we do 2000 physical damage, which we then convert 50% to fire. So we have 1k physical, 1k fire. So all of that is combined and then multiplied. I mean, you get the extra damage. So here is the calculation for the average damage, assuming that they can overlap, so you can actually gain 50, 100, and 200 in the same hit. Now, it doesn't matter if that's the case, if you can get them all on top of each other or whatever. It really doesn't matter. It's more about the mechanics of how the non-chaos damage added as extra chaos damage work. And just for the example case here, we're going to use the 0.45, or it's more like 1.45 multiplier. And to make it more simple, I'm not gonna use any increases to your damage modifiers like more damage support gems, or just increase damage, just using raw numbers. So in that case, I just provided here, you on average, instead of doing 2k, you will do 2.9k damage. Now, if it worked like this, it would be fine. It would be a good node. It would be 45% more damage on average, right? However, that's not quite how it works when it comes to conversion. So, non-chaos as extra chaos means that your chaos damage can add damage from physical, lightning, cold, and fire damage. So there's 4 different elements, like damage types, that you can add the damage from. And added as works between conversions. That's why it becomes so absurd. So how it actually works, instead of this, is we have the 2k physical damage, which we then convert 50% to fire. Right, so we have 1k physical and 1k fire as like the ending hit. So it starts with adding the damage from your physical damage, which is 2k, and after that it adds the fire damage. So instead of being 45, it's a bit more than that. And this can actually be applied on every single step of the conversion. So if you were to convert physical to lightning, that lightning to cold, and that cold to fire, you would get the added as from every single conversion point. Now, it's not very practical to do that, but for example, Glacial Cascade, which has a 60% built-in conversion, combined with let me show you the skill tree node here. Now you would have 100% physical as extra cold damage. Then there is things like fire, which is cold damage converted to fire, and cold to fire. So you can with these two, this support gem and this ring, you can convert 90% of your cold damage to fire damage. So now your base 100% physical damage from Glacial Cascade first gets the added as chaos, then it gets converted to cold damage. It applies the added as chaos. Now the cold damage gets converted to fire damage, and now you have 90% of the base, like the original damage, also getting added as. So let's say that we do like 1k hit. Normal, like if it worked like a lot of people seem it like works, it would add 450 damage, right? But now it adds 450 plus 450 and then 90% of that. So like what? 45 times 9, it's like 405. So it's insane. And it goes even further than that. And I'll show you soon. But before that, I want to address some people's argument that because it says your hits have a chance, it doesn't work the same way as, for example, Incandescent Heart, which has gain elemental damage as extra chaos damage. Archery's Promise, which is gain physical, gain elemental as chaos damage. And then there's a Elder mod on Amulets that also has gain non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage. Now, the difference between Archery and Incandescent Heart and this is very minimal. This adds from all damage. Incandescent Heart adds from elemental damage, so lightning, cold, and fire. And Archery's Promise has physical damage and then elemental damage, so it adds everything. So this is practically the same as the Trickster, same as here. And Incandescent Heart is like a slightly worse version of that. But because you can add from multiple different damage sources, like normally you'd have like physical is converted to fire, you can only convert from physical damage, right? But this here, the line elemental damage or non-chaos damage, allows all of the damage types to be converted. Okay. It says your hits. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Damage conversion mechanic that changes the damage type from a hit. You cannot convert damage over time anyways, so it doesn't matter. The addition your hits doesn't really matter. And converted to and added as are both types of conversions. Converted to converts a different type to another one, and added as just adds damage from the other type as another. And now people say, well, it's the exact wording is not the same. I mean, okay. We have the new Gladiator here. Look at number 9 and 11. Increased global physical damage. And then here, increased global physical damage. Okay. Why does it say global? We have a node such as Path of the Warrior that has increased physical damage. This is also global physical damage. This increases your physical spell damage as well. This is not limited to attacks. Okay. So we found a mismatch, even though they are the same thing. Now you can argue that this increased physical damage can be changed to say global physical damage in the future. Okay, sure. I guess. We can also look at, this is the old Guardian, right? Here. Auras you cast grant 0.2 of maximum life regen per second. Of maximum life regen. Alright. Let's take a random life regen over here. 0.2 of life regen. Wait, it's missing a lot. It's missing maximum? Wait. Are they different? No, they're the exact same shit. It doesn't matter. Like, there's so many inconsistencies in the wording in the game right now that using your hits have a chance as an argument against gain, especially when this says gain anyways. It just has this like slight way of like making sure that people actually understand that it only affects hits. This could have a line before, like below it, like conversion only applies to hits. Boom, done. And then I could remove that, but either way. And I also checked Mark GGG's, who's the mechanics guy. I scrambled through his recent post history to see if he has addressed any of those questions about that, and I didn't find anything. And then I also went to GGG Tracker and scrambled through most of this shit as well, and I didn't find anything. Now, maybe it just slipped through and nobody have actually seen a question about it. But all things considered, it is a good assumption that this works exactly like the others do. Okay. And now I'm just gonna prove that it works how I'm saying it works instead of just saying it, because it's a good to be able to prove your claims, right? So we have resolute technique here, because we don't want to, you know, I want to keep the calculations as simple as possible. So I want to remove the crit chance and crit multiplier out of the equation, right? We have a skill DPS here. This will go up if I would pick this. Like if I would not have it, right? It would slightly go up. It doesn't really matter, but just to make it as simple as possible. Okay, we have a level 20 unearth. It's also 20 quality, because I'm also gonna show this example in game, and I happen to have a 20 quality level 20 unearth, so I don't want to inflate like TPS numbers or anything. So we have a base of 540 to 810 physical damage. Okay, I am gonna quickly show what unearth the wiki and what it looks like, you know, in game as well. Okay, so level 20 unearth, 540 to 810 matches. Great. Then in the game, 540 to 810. Amazing. Let's go back to building. So now we have an item with gain non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage. So I don't have any other damage increases anywhere else. I have no items, no jewels, anything. So this should increase my DPS average hit by 10%. You can see equipped in this amulet, it will give you 64.5 average hits, which is 10%. Okay, so let's slap that in. Great. So looks 54 out of 540. It seems to be 10%, and 81 from 810. Yeah. Some quick math there. Okay, let's take that off. And I have a cool belt here, which is 100 of physical damage converted to cold damage. Now I could just use Glacial Cascade and take a node like Winter Spirit here, but I want to remove you have increased cold damage here. So I just want to keep it simple and remove all of increased damage modifiers for now. I'm gonna show it later. But so all of my physical damage is converted to cold. As you can see, my total DPS stays the exact same, right? I'm just converting my physical damage to cold damage, as you can see here, from physical base 540 to 810 to total cold. Okay, now I'm gonna slap the amulet back on, and you can already see that my average hit is actually increased by 135 and not 67.5, even though if it worked like the assumption by a lot of people is, like how the added as chaos works in the first place. Where is it here? you can see that we have physical base 540 to 810. Then it says conversion 10% to chaos. Then we look at the cold damage, and then it says the same for there. So instead of just 10, we're now adding 20%. You can actually go further with this and use something like cold to fire. Now we can just use fire and use cold to fire gem, for example, but just slap that in and you can see that I'm getting another 67.5. So instead of the average being 45% more, it actually is 90, then another 45, and then another, if you are able to convert all of your damages. Now, it's not very practical, but converting Glacial Cascade to cold and then to fire is very easy. So that alone is instead of 45 is 90, and then 90% of that 45 again. So that's like 130 something percent more, right? It's insane. Okay. Now it doesn't stop here. Let's go back at just having the unearthed again. And let's double my base DPS. So I have no other increases, so let's just get 100% physical damage. By the way, see how it's not increased global physical damage yet. So let's put that in. And then here we can go look. Base 540 to 810, increase by 2 because your base is 1, so now 1 plus another 100 is 2, so we doubled it. Okay, seems about right. Now, due to how conversion works in the game, is when you convert damage to another type of damage, the modifiers to the original damage type apply to the new type. So when I now add the belt back, see my DPS didn't dip down at all, even though I don't actually have any cold damage modifiers. I only have physical damage modifiers. But because now the increased physical damage is also modified by cold damage. Now, this means that if I had another like 100% cold damage, for example, having nodes in the skill tree with cold damage, now the cold damage would also apply to the converted damage on top of the base, like the physical damage, and then you add from that. So I'm not gonna add more because I just wanna keep it simple, but we first double the base physical damage, we get 10% of that. Right, let's just take this off again. So we have 10% of the damage after increases and like more damage multipliers. And now that we convert this, we still gain the same from here, and we gain the same from here. You see, the base, then it gets increased. You see total physical damage is 1080 to 1620, and then 10% of that is chaos. Then we see the conversion. We see physical converted to the same amount as the physical was, and then again we get the chaos damage too. Now you can also just do the numbers and average chaos damage is indeed 20% from all of this. I'm not gonna do it. You can do it if you really want to. And we could then add the fire convert, like cold to fire conversion now, and we gain the same. You can see here 135 average hit, which is the base physical twice, right? because the base was 67.5 from the amulet, which was 10%, and now it just adds it again. So this means that when you have a lot of more multipliers to your base damage, it applies from then you convert it, it applies again and again and again. It's just insane how it works, and I really hope it gets changed. And now you're gonna say, well, you're just doing it in Path of Building. Path of Building can be incorrect. Okay, so sure, we can go in game now to do the exact same test. Of course, I won't be able to do like physical 100% physical damage helm or anything like that, but I can show the numbers and they match, right? Okay, so here we have level 20 unearth, right? 540 to 810. DPS is 1235.2. It's different here. I don't exactly know why. Like, remember when you said, like when I said that the Path of Building can be incorrect? That's true, it can be incorrect. And I'm not exactly sure like which of these actually are incorrect, but just doing a very quick math here. So we have a skill DPS, so we have 675 average hit multiplied by my cast rate, right? Which is 0.83 because of the quality on the gem, which I also have in my in-game. And this is 1235.25, which when looked at here matches. So it's probably some rounding issues on Path of Building, I'm not exactly sure, but this doesn't matter when we look at the other numbers, right? So the physical damage portion here is the exact same here, okay? Great. Let's put Black Gleam, which doesn't add any damage to my spell, right? It just converts 50% of physical to fire. Go to Calcs, 270 to 405 physical, and the same amount of fire. Don't need to have a monitor on. Okay. 270 to 405. Seems about right. Let's take it off, and with the amulet, which is 10% non-chaos as extra chaos, with no other damage modifiers, right? So it should add 54 to 81 physical damage. Okay, and now that I'm slapping the Black Gleam on, it is gonna be 108 to 162. My math is not correct. Of course it doesn't double it, but it adds from the... Oh, of course it's not, because this is only 50% and not 100%. Yeah, so it's but 54 plus 27 to 81 plus 40.5, right? So yeah, so then it rolls up to 122 and 81. Yeah, numbers match. My brain calcs don't really. So we put the amulet here, right? Damage are the same, 81 to 122, right? I don't know why I was thinking about it as 100% conversion. Probably something to do with the glacial cascade, but either way, you can see that. So it matches. Now you can keep doing you could convert physical to lightning into cold, or fish to cold into fire. Get the node and you just snowball the fuck out of everything. You just get so much damage that it's nuts. I'm not sure if this is just an oversight on, like, it's not very old change how the conversion and all that works now. It was with the change to like how damage over time and all that was changed recently, and at the same time this happened. So I'm not sure if... I'm pretty sure that it's not intended that the added as chaos damage works between conversions. I sure hope so. They will change it if it was intended, but to me this just seems like an oversight, honestly. But yeah, Trickster is pretty busted, and items like Incandescent Heart and the Amulet with gain 10% of non-chaos as extra chaos are pretty strong. Yeah. Hopefully this cleared up things. It was very long video, but I felt like I needed to go and show the examples both in game and in the battle building to show that it's just not battle building being wrong or me saying things without being able to prove it. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Bye bye.